All right, today we're cracking open a classic fairy tale. Now, you might think you know this kind of story, but this one's got a really powerful message at its heart. It's all about what leadership truly means and, where real beauty actually comes from. So let's get into it. So, picture this. Our story kicks off in this absolutely stunning kingdom right in the middle of the sea. It's called the Crystal Sea Kingdom, and for good reason. The water there, it literally sparkled like crystal, just gorgeous. I mean, it was basically a perfect world, right? The people were happy, they had these wonderful rulers, King Izarun and Queen Asha. But, and there's always a but in these stories. Underneath all that perfection, the king and queen were hiding this one deep sadness. And what's so clever about setting this scene this way is just how perfect everything seems. The people adore their king and queen. Life is just one big party. Festivals, songs, you name it. But that perfect, shiny surface just makes the one thing they don't have stand out even more. Every morning, like clockwork, Queen Asha would go to the Christmas tree of blessings and she'd pray for a child. This one wish, this is really the emotional anchor of the whole story. It's this incredible ache in the middle of a kingdom that seems to have everything else. And then it happened. The palace bells just exploded with joy. Why? Because the queen had a baby. Actually, not one, but two baby girls. The whole kingdom just went wild, celebrating Princess Mira, the one with jet black hair, and Princess Selena, with hair like spun gold. Okay, so fast forward a bit. The princesses are now 16 years old. And get this, they looked completely identical. I mean, you couldn't tell them apart. But on the inside, they couldn't have been more different. Their hearts were on two totally separate journeys. And this is where we get to the real heart of the conflict. You've got Mira, who's all about beauty, dancing, and, well, sleeping. She was lazy, plain and simple, loved looking in the mirror. Then you have Selena. She's up at the crack of dawn, her nose is always in a book, and her greatest joy is actually helping people. So, same face, but totally opposite inside. And look, this wasn't just about different personalities, like one likes sports and the other likes art. No, this was a serious character flaw. The queen was constantly worried sick about Mira's laziness. And that tells you everything. This wasn't just a teenage phase. It was a real threat to the future of the kingdom. And then, the moment of truth. The king and queen have to leave on some urgent royal business. And who do they leave in charge? You guessed it, the two princesses. This was it, the ultimate test of character. So Selena is trying her best, she really is, but Mira's total neglect starts to show, and fast. That perfect kingdom, it started to fall apart. Little things at first. The beautiful palace fountains sputtered and died. Fishermen's nets were tearing. The royal gardens started to wilt. It's like the light of the kingdom was slowly being turned down. And what was Mira's answer to all these problems? I'll deal with it later. That was her go-to line. With just a few simple words, she basically told her people that their problems weren't as important as her nap. And that's the key, right? Her doing nothing was doing something terrible. So while this storm of problems is brewing inside the kingdom, a literal storm starts to gather on the horizon. And this storm, this was going to be the thing that finally shakes everything up. It was going to force a change that no amount of pleading or worrying from her parents ever could. So check this out. This is how it all goes down. The storm hits, and it's a bad one. It traps a boat full of supplies near these dangerous rocks. Without even a second thought, Selena is out there, organizing the soldiers, leading the rescue herself, getting soaked, exhausted, but she never stops. And where's Mira? She's watching the whole thing from her nice, dry balcony. And in that moment, watching her sister be a hero, she feels, well, useless for the very first time. This is it. This is the moment everything changes, because she sees the people cheering for Selena, not for her golden hair, but for her courage. And it's like a light bulb goes off in Mira's head. She's forced to ask herself this massive question. What good is all my beauty, my dresses, my hair, when people's lives are on the line? And right then, she remembers something her father used to say, time teaches everyone. And it all clicks. This storm, this crisis, this was her classroom. This was the lesson she was meant to learn. And this wasn't just a passing thought. It was a deep, fundamental shift inside her. That spark of realization lit a fire. Mira finally, truly understood that all the beauty in the world means absolutely nothing if it isn't backed up by a kind and caring heart. And check out how she puts it into action. It's not just talk. The very next day, she's up before the sun. She's in the council room with Selena, actually reading the reports. She's out there with the workers, helping fix the fountains. She's talking to her people, listening to their stories. She's all in. And what happens next is just beautiful. With the two of them working as a team, the kingdom doesn't just get back to normal, it becomes better than ever. The fountains sparkle, the gardens are more vibrant, and the people, they now love both their princesses with all their hearts. So when the king and queen finally get back, they're stunned. They find their kingdom is flourishing, and their two daughters have transformed into these amazing, wise leaders. The king's words say it all, right? He knows the kingdom is in good hands. And that's how the story became a legend in their kingdom. It was a story that passed down a really simple but incredibly powerful lesson. True beauty isn't on the outside. It's not about fancy clothes or a pretty face. True beauty is found in a caring heart, in taking responsibility, in being kind. That's the real magic. So that leaves us with a pretty powerful question, doesn't it? Think about your own kingdom. Maybe it's your family, your work, your group of friends, or even just your own well-being. What's one small thing you can do, starting today, to take care of it and help it flourish?